Most Australians are working harder than ever right now. And somehow, it still does not feel like enough. The bills are higher. The mortgage is brutal. And that pay rise you got last year? Inflation already ate it. But here is what nobody is telling you. 2026 is actually one of the best environments in a generation to build new income streams in Australia, if you know where to look. The problem is most people are still using a 2015 playbook in a completely different economy. So today, I am breaking down the real ways Australians are making money in 2026. Not side hustle fantasy content. Actual strategies that fit around a full-time job, that work inside the Australian tax system, and that are producing real results right now. And I will tell you exactly which ones to ignore, because some of the most popular advice floating around will cost you more than you make. Let me give you the landscape first. The Reserve Bank held rates at 3.85% through early 2026 before cutting twice. That shift changed the math on cash, property, and debt in a significant way. At the same time, the May 2026 federal budget rewrote the rules on negative gearing and capital gains. And the labour market, while still relatively tight, is showing real wage pressure in specific sectors and almost none in others. Where you sit inside that picture determines which income strategies actually make sense for you right now. Let us start with the one most people already have but are completely underusing. Your job. I know. Not exciting. But hear me out. The fastest money most Australians will ever make is not from a side hustle. It is from negotiating a better rate at their current employer or moving to a competitor. In 2026, skilled workers in construction, healthcare, technology, and trades are seeing salary gaps of $15,000 to $40,000 between what their current employer pays and what the market actually offers. If you have not benchmarked your salary in the last 18 months, you are almost certainly leaving money on the table. Use Seek Salary Insights and LinkedIn Salary to check your market rate this week. That is free money hiding in plain sight. Now let us talk about income that works while you sleep. High-interest savings accounts and term deposits are back. With the cash rate sitting above 3%, the major banks and online lenders are offering savings rates between 4.5% and 5.2% on competitive accounts. If you have $30,000 sitting in an everyday transaction account earning almost nothing, moving it takes 20 minutes and earns you over $1,500 a year in passive interest. That is not retirement money. But it is not nothing either. Next, shares and ETFs. The ASX 200 has delivered average annual returns of around 10%, including dividends over the long run. In 2026, with rate cuts beginning, growth assets are getting a second look from investors who parked everything in cash during the rate hiking cycle. If you are not investing yet, the barrier has never been lower. Platforms like Pearler, Sharesies, and CommSec Pocket allow you to start with as little as $50. The strategy that works for most Australians is simple. Buy a low-cost broad market ETF, set up a recurring contribution, and do not touch it. The people who made real money from shares in Australia did not do it by picking winners. They did it by staying in the game long enough for compounding to work. Now, let us talk about property, because the rules just changed. From the 1st of July, 2027, negative gearing on established residential investment properties purchased after budget night will be limited. You can no longer offset those rental losses against your salary income. That single change has already shifted where smart investors are looking. New builds retain full negative gearing treatment. Regional areas with strong rental yields are attracting more attention. And short-term rental platforms are being used by some investors to push yields above what a traditional tenancy would deliver. If property is part of your income plan, the era of buying any established investment property and relying on tax losses to make it work is over. Cash flow is now the whole game. And that brings me to the one everyone wants to talk about. Online income. Let me be direct. Most people who try to make money online in 2026 will not. Not because it is impossible. Because they treat it like a lottery ticket instead of a business. The Australians who are genuinely building income online right now fall into a few clear categories. Service providers. People selling a skill directly to clients through platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, or direct LinkedIn outreach. Content creators who have built an audience around a specific niche and are monetizing through brand deals, courses, or memberships. And digital product sellers, people who have packaged their knowledge into something that sells while they are offline. None of these are passive on day one. All of them require real work upfront. But the economics are strong for Australians because our English language skills, professional standards, and time zone make us competitive in the global market. If you have a skill that earns you money in a job, there is almost certainly a version of that skill you can sell directly. The question is whether you are willing to build it. Finally, super. I know it does not feel like making money, but from the 1st of July, 2026, the concessional contributions cap rises to $32,500. Every dollar you salary sacrifice into super is taxed at 15% instead of your marginal rate. If you are on the 37% tax bracket, that gap is 22 cents in the dollar. On a $10,000 contribution, that is $2,200 you keep instead of sending to the ATO. That is not a side hustle. That is money you are already earning, redirected smarter. Here is what you do today. Pick one strategy from this list that fits your current situation. Not 3. 1. Run it properly for 90 days before you add anything else. The Australians building real wealth in 2026 are not doing 10 things at once. They are doing one thing consistently, at the right level, for long enough that it actually compounds. If this gave you a clearer picture, hit the like button and subscribe. I will see you in the next one.